Each week on this video, we'll give you sneaky waiver wire ads you can pick up and add to your roster this week, heading into week 9. I'm Alan Seslowsky of RotoWire.com, along with Jeff Erickson. Jeff, who's going to be your first sneaky ad?
I'm going to go Jayden Reed of the Green Bay Packers, 79% snap share last week against the Vikings. He draws the Rams next. We saw what happened against the Rams yesterday against the Cowboys. Granted, Jordan Love's not doing that to anybody, but Jayden Reed seems to be getting like the better, like the ideal snaps too. He's getting red zone snaps. He's getting like slot snaps. He's the type of guy that I think will flourish in this particular matchup. There might only be one or two plays where that matters, but he'll be there for those that matter. So Jayden Reed is a guy I'm going to pivot to this week.
When the new week rolls around, sometimes we do forget about the previous Thursday night game, and Bills wide receiver Khalil Shakir caught all 6 of his targets for a team-high 92 yards. Remember, tight end Dawson Knox is out for a while, and the Bills ran more 3 wide receiver sets, putting Shakir on the field more. He actually ran a route on 70% of the pass plays, and since it was successful, there's every reason to think that the Bills will continue to do it at least for 3 more weeks while Knox is on IR with his wrist injury. Buffalo travels to Cincinnati to play your Bengals.
Hooday!
In a projected shootout game, Jeff. Who's your next sneaky ad?
I think Noah Brown, who's stepping into the third receiver role for the Texans with Robert Woods out, is a decent start this week if you're in a pinch with some of these bye week teams, some good teams on bye this upcoming week. So he might be a decent sneaky ad. He is eminently available. He is their third option, but he had 5 targets against Carolina. I think he's a guy that could be useful.
The Patriots lost both Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne, who incidentally is out for the year with an ACL tear. Bummer. After he did score a touchdown, though, in week 8. Both injuries look serious enough where we could project that both Parker and obviously Bourne are going to be out in week 9. The New England Patriots rookie wide receiver Demario Pop Douglas led the Patriots with 7 targets and 5 catches in week 8. Douglas should be a big play guy and have a big role in next week's matchup versus the Commanders, putting the rookie inside the top 40, maybe even the top 36 wide receiver rankings in week 9.
Yeah, love the matchup against the Commanders. We saw that shootout against the Eagles in week 8. I really do think that Douglas is going to be an ideal guy. He was ascendant already, even before the injuries happened. Michael Gallup, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't love Michael Gallup. I don't think he's the same player since the injury, unfortunately. However, this matchup against the Eagles, where he is lining up against the third corner or a safety more often than not, against the Eagles secondary, which is really bad, sneakily really bad because they're hurt. I think he's going to have a reasonable day. He's going to get a lot of targets. After what CeeDee Lamb did this past week, I think the Eagles, who know the Cowboys, have that familiarity. They're going to focus more on Lamb, and it's going to lead to Cooks and Gallup getting a lot more targets this week.
The tight end wheel goes round and round, and the obvious pickup is Trey McBride on the Arizona Cardinals. But I still think that 33-year-old Taysom Hill on the Saints warrants the sneaky label, mostly because he's a running back disguised in tight end clothing. His pass-catching role took a major hit with tight end Juwan Johnson back. He caught only 1 target for 14 yards, but he did carry the ball 9 times for 63 yards and scored twice. He's never a player you're pumped to start in fantasy, but Hill's floor upside ratio is worth sneaking him in onto your roster and playing him in week 9 against a horrible Bears defense. Jeff, he has double-digit fantasy points in 3 straight games.
I'm still annoyed that he qualifies as a tight end, but he does, so take advantage of it.
Since you watched this video to the end, let's give you one bonus sneaky ad.
Samaje Perine is out of a role now in Denver. He is the 3rd running back. I think he had 1 carry against the Chiefs. What if the Bengals, who lost Chase Brown for a hamstring injury, is on IR? What if they decide to bring back an old familiar face? He would be a nice little fit in Cincy. So maybe speculate on that. Be ready to be nimble after the trade deadline. There might be some things that open up because of that. Because right now, things aren't open. We didn't have the major running back injuries this week. We didn't have the emerging player this week. That doesn't mean that we're going to be stagnant there. We'll see if maybe the trade deadline brings some love for us.
That is a sneaky freaky if I've ever heard one, Jeff Erickson. If you enjoy videos like this, please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified when RotoWire puts up new video content every single day. And right now, you can get behind RotoWire's paywall for free. Go to RotoWire.com/try, enter your email, and the paywall unlocks. And if you love fantasy basketball, RotoWire just launched a new 100% fantasy basketball YouTube channel. You can click the link in the video description below or link to it through RotoWire's main YouTube page.